So it took, 2 or 3 months to plan. We took a month to put it all together. And here it is, the inaugural podcast for 124. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Philip Jortson, your host. Boy, I'll tell you, it is really exciting to bring this part and this new function of 124, the podcast, right to you. This is going to be an incredible resource and a great tool. And I'm so looking forward to bringing you a weekly edition of the 124 online podcast. Hey, listen, it's not going to be just a one-way ticket or stream of information, I should say. It's going to be two ways because we want to hear from you. We want your input. As a matter of fact, I want you to take down this email. It's podcast at 124online.com. That's podcast at 124online.com. That comes right into this program. And what I want you to do is from time to time, if you have a testimonial or some tactic that led to an addition of several people on your wait list, or maybe it's a great recipe with Nature Burst, if it involves anything to do with vodka or rum, send it in. But get it to us because that comes right to the program. And if it's that relevant, we want to get you on. We want to interview you. We want you to share everything that you've done and experienced with us. And this will be a great way to make this a two-way communication. We're quite excited about that. You know, Joe and Mark were very careful to craft a program which really brings forward the mantra, people helping people. And you're going to hear me be very redundant in that over the course of the series of podcasts that we do. Is anything that we do, we're that team. And when we have information that's coming through like that, it's great to share it because then other people can pick up on it. And after all, that's the way the incentivized referral program has been designed. Now, it doesn't stop here with a podcast. As you know, we already get an email from time to time updating us and announcing various things that are going on. Well, we'll augment that. But also, of course, you have a daily call in which to have your questions answered. Our master distributor, Michael Briansky, brings that to you every weekday between noon and 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So that's another great resource you have at your disposal every day. Now we add the podcast, and now we're getting ready to finalize and announce our webinar schedule. And we have a specific PowerPoint webinar that we have produced. I had the pleasure of collaborating with both Mike Briansky and Mark on this over the holiday, and its specific content is targeted and focused on the gold rush. And that is so important right now because, as Mark puts it, and he has a couple of PDFs and illustrations in your back office for you to review, but in order to really understand it and grasp it, we've created a PowerPoint that breaks the whole gold rush down, and it's explained in a manner that you'll be able to understand it. Now, let's get something straight here. Mark and Joe make it very clear. You do not have to know exactly how the gold rush works in order to succeed. Just understand its concept, because when you do, you realize how powerful the incentivized referral program really is. And you'll never leave this company, and the risk becomes diminished very quickly as you make that first 6-month commitment to 124. So we're really excited about the webinar. Stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of announcements coming up on that. Plenty to look forward to in those live presentations. And we'll start them live, and then eventually what we'll do is we'll record it. We'll record the whole presentation, and then it'll be a permanent fixture in your back office. We want to tweak it, get some ideas and some feedback, and so we'll make it better and better, and then we'll record it and have it as a standard presentation for you to have and share. Now, a lot of the content we do both here and on the webinars is actually intended for the active PCs of 124. And so Mark created that whole visual and video content of each of our sites, the sites that we have, as the introduction out to those who may be potential prospects for us. But all of this content that we're doing behind the scenes is really to help educate yourself and empower you with all the tools and resources you need to become successful in 124. So great stuff. Now, finally, one of the other things that is now beginning to be developed is our television studio. We are putting together a video studio, which will then combine our audio and video operation, and it'll allow for us to go ahead and then have some television work done in which we feature a whole host of videos and so forth, and all that will be going in and it continually archived in your back office. So a lot going on. It's going to be very exciting. Now, I thought I'd start the first program and go back a little bit, and I had a chance to sit down over the phone and conduct a real quick little interview with Joe Perry, and Joe shared a little bit of the history that he had in putting together the different products over the years and what he has seen evolve all the way to today, where we have this great product, NutriBurst, as of course our core product. Hey, and on the program, and actually on the phone right now, is someone who doesn't need a lot of introduction. It's our president and co-founder of 124, Joe Perry. Joe, welcome to the program. It's our inaugural podcast. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Thank you so much. I'm really excited. Boy, it's off to a brand new year, and boy, it's a lot going on. We're very excited.
You know, you're bringing a lot of momentum from 2010 forward into 2011, and something that was quite unexpected on both your and Mark's part, based upon the industry as you known it over the years, and what happened with 124 in December.
Yeah, we were traditionally accustomed to seeing November begin to fall off in sales, and then December literally crashing. And guess what happened? November picked up over October, and then December was bigger than November. So that says a lot of what could happen for first quarter 2011.
Now, your background goes back, at least in formulating products like NutriBurst, goes back to the 70s. And I want to take the listeners back a little bit to the beginning, because for a lot of people who are new to 124 and just kind of getting started and introduced to it, they don't quite understand the experience that's behind this company. And for you specifically, it's in that area of nutraceuticals and building up this product and these products. Take us back, if you will, to the early days and what it was like and some of the experiences you had in developing products.
Yeah, this industry has come so far. Excuse me, the nutraceutical industry back when we began formulating nutritional products in the 70s. And boy, as you say that, Phil, 70s, that's back when the earth was still cooling. And but the first big product that we developed was a nutritional weight loss program called Slender Now, and it went from zero to over $100 million in sales in 3 years. And since that, the industry has evolved very dramatically, and one of the most powerful niches in the nutritional industry right now is an area that you just alluded to. It's called nutraceuticals, and our product, NutriBurst, fits very nicely into that category.
And let me talk about that just a little bit. Here we are, and after all these years of your development and so forth, here comes this product, NutriBurst, which is in this area of nutraceuticals, or as I call it, superfoods. And we're seeing a lot of engineered meals actually done through this superfood concept. What brought you to making NutriBurst the core product for 124?
Well, this is, some of you might know, I've worked in the nutritional industry, but also worked in the medical field for quite some time. And NutriBurst was a product that I was actually working on probably 12 to 18 months before 124 came to be a reality. And it was a product I was very, very excited about because it fit into a number of different areas that were high need areas. One was obviously in vitamins, things like that. You talk a lot about nutrient density. For example, if you want more vitamin B12, you can take a tablet and get a whole bunch of vitamin B12. Well, the thing that's beginning to get more powerful than just vitamins is the fact that you can take all types of raw materials, and a lot of these things, the fruits and vegetables, and things like mangosteen, aloe, there's probiotics, prebiotics. Now we're coming to the time that we can begin to combine all of these things into one superfood, as you called it, and it provides not only all these ingredients, dozens of different powerful ingredients, but those ingredients, when they're put together properly, Phil, they come to what we call synergy, and that's kind of, put it simplistically, 2 plus 2 equals 5. The result is greater than the sum of the parts, and that's kind of what NutriBurst is all about. And it's something not only that us as adults can use and get some tremendous results with our health, curbing our appetite, Some people are even using it as a meal replacement. I was talking to a gentleman right before the holidays that's lost 70 pounds using the Nature Burst, and he's used it just to substitute for some meals. But one of the more exciting things to me is what it's doing for some of the kids that would never in a million years sit down and eat their broccoli and cauliflower and spinach and carrots and those type of things. And they're doing it with the Nature Burst, which is awesome.
Many companies within this industry have supplements and so forth, but this isn't a supplement, it's a food. So let me ask you this question. As we head into 2011, we never know what the regulatory environment's going to bring us, and there's been some discussion about further regulating supplements and the industry. What are the implications for Nature Burst along those lines, or is it more exempt because it is a food?
Yeah, that's one of the exciting things about the product. That's one of the things that we targeted, was being able to categorize Nature Burst as a food versus a supplement, because as you say, the regulatory issues are getting stronger and stronger. Plus, the ingredients that are in this product, we really didn't want to add anything that was not necessarily artificial, but was out of the area of the types of foods and other things that we wanted to have in this product. So I think it's going to be safer from a regulatory basis, but the results, I think, we're just going to see more and more success stories as the year goes on.
Now, you recommend that people look at taking at least one of these meals a day like this, which comes to about $2 a day when you look at the cost of the product and so forth. Now, we've reached a very interesting inflationary cycle in our economy all of a sudden. We're finding that food prices as a whole are jumping up there, and it's almost like you turn around and you go into the grocery store and you go, well, wait a minute, what happened? Everyone says inflation's in check, but when I last looked, and I know we had a cold spell that came through South Florida here over the course of between November, December, and some vegetable crops were affected and so forth, and all of a sudden string beans and squash and a whole bunch of other things just, boom, jumped. Now, I've got to imagine that this becomes somewhat of a replacement for that, so that this food now ends up saving you money. Is that a way to look at it? Yeah.
Well, for example, I just got back from lunch, and I had a pretty mild mannered restaurant as far as pricing goes, and my bill when I walked out was $9. So the Nature Burst, as you alluded to, again, it's about $2 a meal, which is a dramatic savings there. And then the other thing that's pretty dramatic is the fact that a lot of products are coming out now in capsules, and to equal the serving size that you're getting with Nature Burst, you would have to take 30-plus capsules from some of these products, that these fruit and vegetable concentrates that you're seeing in the marketplace. So you got kind of a two-pronged approach there with your savings, not only the meal replacement, but just the quality of the raw material that you're taking in your body at the price you're taking it at.
So here we are in 2011. We're starting it. This is literally January the 3rd. What are some of the other interesting products and things that you see on the horizon for 124? I know some of that stuff's in development, but what are some of the things we can look forward to as potentially new products that will be offered?
Yeah, we're looking at other things, not only in the nutraceutical field, but as Mark and I have talked about, we're always looking for things that can save our preferred customers money. In other words, like with the Nature Burst, if you spend $60 a month and you're saving $60 or more, that's a nice investment, nice return on investment. So we're looking for things that not only save money, but will also help people in some shape, form, or fashion. So we have a number of things that we're looking at, and we don't have anything finite yet, but it's not only in the nutritional field, it's other products as well that can bring those two parameters or solve those two, or bring solutions to those two things.
Well, Joe, I really can't wait to have you on the program more often. This podcast, as you know, is going to be a weekly event, and I've put out the call to everyone to certainly forward their emails to us from time to time with their questions and such. And I'd like to get you back on from time to time to answer some of those, address those, and of course keep us updated on everything happening 124.
Oh, you bet. I'd be happy to. I'd love talking with everybody, and it's incredible that we have the ability to do so now with the technology. Back when Mark and I got started in business, boy, there was no such thing as email. We were doing all the things via conference calls and things like that. So my hat's off to all of you that are helping so much get the word out to so many people.
That's Joe Perry from 124. We're glad that he's on the program, and certainly appreciate his coming on. So that's a wrap for this edition of the inaugural podcast. I want to thank you for joining me and remind you once again, for any feedback, please send it to podcast@124online.com. That's podcast@124online.com. On behalf of everybody at 124, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week. Goodbye, everybody.